I'm going to do a really brief review of Tobe Hooper's 1986 version of Invaders from Mars. It's going to be brief because I didn't really like the film. It's boring. That's the number one thing with this movie. It is so boring. At one point, I was like, how much longer is there? Oh my god, an hour. And then at another point, I was like, oh please, it's almost over, right? 37 minutes. We're still left. Like, it was so boring. I started washing my dishes. Pretty soon I'm going to have a rating system on, like, how many chores I decided I needed to do while watching the movie to tell you how boring it was. Like, I don't even know. And then there's, like, Bud Quart, but he doesn't even come until there's only 25 minutes left in the movies. And then, spoiler alert, he dies right away. Like, he's there, and then he's dead. And you're like, what the fuck? What criminal waste of Bud Quart. The kid was really annoying. Like, one of the worst movie annoying kids ever. Just, ugh. And, Louise Fletcher was nominated for a Razzie, and, like, this whole movie is nominated for a bunch of Razzies, and, like, well-deserved. The like, creatures in this one, like, in the other one, they were just, like, dudes in suits, but it worked with the 50s, B-movie aesthetic, but these ones were, like, a combination between, the giant, plant in Little Shop of Horrors and, like, Critters, the Critters movies. It just didn't work. The one thing it did kind of have going for it was that, so, like, the other one was set in the 50s and it was, like, Red Scare, paranoia kind of movie, and this was more, are they going to drop the bomb or not, Cold War paranoia, and so, you had a lot of militarization, like, way more militarization in this film. They also got to talk about the face on Mars and the pyramids, because those photos had surfaced at that point, and they also had SETI, which was interesting, but, like, not saving grace, And then, okay, normally I don't like to compare, like, one movie to another movie, so I'm not really gonna do that, but I am gonna say that, like, in the original, the lead woman, Helena Carter, she was a doctor. And in this one, it was Karen Black playing a similar character, and she was a goddamn nurse. And I'm like, did you really need to, like, demote her status? Like, really? Like, you had to do that? And, like, in the 50s, there weren't very many women doctors and lawyers and professionals. There was, like, even smaller percentage than there are today. And so there was a lot of them in films because it was sort of a... look at this anomaly, and so they did that a lot. And then starting in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they, like, reduced the numbers because they became more common, and so suddenly it wasn't, like, an anomaly, and so it wasn't interesting, which is just such bullshit. So that really irritated me. Yeah, I was just not a fan of this movie. You can probably skip it, unless you're, like, number one Tobe Hooper fan, and you just feel like you need to complete his filmography. Otherwise,